Our story begins with the classic Once Upon a Time. There were happy aliens who came to Earth to explore a forest. They were small beings who glowed in the belly with long fingers and dry skin, like your grandma's friend who always seeks you out to give you a slobbery kiss. There they were, the aliens, looking at the little trees and the plants and the earth when suddenly some farmers arrived in their cars to mess with them. Well, they don't look exactly as farmers, more like men in black agents, but this is not a crossover episode. The aliens ran back to the spaceship and headed back to space, but by accident, they forgot one of them. Now, the orphaned alien has to figure out what to do, so he heads down to the houses in California and hides in the shed of one house. In this house lives a boy named Elliott, who has two siblings, the older Mike and the younger one, a little angel named Gertie, played by Barrymore. Inside the house, Mike's friends are all nerds playing Dungeons and Dragons, and little Elliott wants to join in but isn't allowed. Eventually, they blackmail him, saying if he goes outside to get the pizza, he'll earn his place at the table. Naive Elliott grabs his glove and baseball, because that's exactly what you need when you're going to greet the pizza delivery guy. The problem is, just as he's about to go inside the house, Elliott hears a noise coming from the shed, which is strangely the only thing lit up in the spooky, fog-filled yard. As he gets closer, he leaves the pizza on the ground. He also tries to be brave and throws the baseball into the shed, and surprisingly, someone, or something, throws it back. So he runs back to the house, leaving the pizza out in the yard as if nothing happened. Obviously, little Elliott is scared out of his mind, but no one believes him, and they only ask about the pizza. In the end, Elliott convinces them, and they all grab knives and head out to the yard, but they only find a strange footprint on the ground.
Coyote's come back again, Mom.
And the pizza completely ruined. But as they go back inside the house, we see those long, skinny fingers peeking out from the shed doorframe. Elliott can't sleep, so he does what any kid his age would do. He goes out into the woods at midnight with a flashlight to search for the strange being leaving footprints on the ground. Behind some bushes, he discovers the wrinkled, big-headed alien and lets out a scream before running away as fast as he can. The next day, Elliott rides his bike with some delicious candy because he read online that's what aliens eat, and goes looking for him, but can't find him. Back at the house, the family still doesn't believe him and just changes the subject to something more friendly, like their parents' divorce.
Dad would believe me.
Maybe you ought to call your father and tell him about it.
He's in Mexico with Sally. Where's Mexico?
It's Mexico.
Damn it, why don't you grow up? Think how other people feel for a change.
That night, Elliott keeps watch in the yard, waiting for the alien to return, and he does. Now that he's face to face with him again, Elliott tries to call his family, but goes mute. The alien approaches him with strange sounds and long fingers and leaves some M&Ms on the blanket. Apparently, he was right, and the alien really liked those candies. So Elliott makes a trail of candy leading the alien to his room, where he starts making a mess. Elliott asks him to be quiet, and it seems the alien understands sign language. Eventually, they both fall asleep and end up going to bed. Meanwhile, some investigators, the same farmers from the beginning, are examining the spot where the spaceship landed, looking for evidence and all that, but instead, they find the candy. The next day, Elliott pretends to be sick to skip school and stay with the alien. He tries to talk to him but realizes the alien can't speak like humans, so he shows him his toys and things and feeds him. In the afternoon, the boy decides to introduce him to his older brother, who is totally freaked out.
Stand over there. Better take off your shoulder.
What?
You might scare him. Okay,
What they didn't expect was that Drew Barrymore would also walk into the room at that moment, causing chaos. Now the kids hide the alien in their closet, and despite the mess, their mom doesn't notice anything. For now, they've saved the situation. But to be sure, the older siblings threaten little Gertie with hurting her favorite stuffed toy if she tells anyone about the alien.
Is he a boy or a girl? You can't tell. Not even Mom. Why not? Do it, Mike. We have to.
Meanwhile, the kids continue getting to know the little alien. Elliott tries to communicate with him by showing him on a map where they are, and asks where he's from, to which the alien points to the sky with his long, strange finger. Later, they find a book about the solar system, and the alien shows off his psychic powers by making some balls float in the air, and his healing powers by using his mind. The next morning, Elliott goes back to school and gets teased by the other kids who don't believe a word he says, and to make things worse, they also start picking on Mike. Now you might be wondering, How the heck does the kid's mom not notice an alien in the house? Well, it's simple. In the mornings, the alien hides from the mom by pretending to be a stuffed animal. When everybody leaves, he wanders around the house with Harvey, the pet. But the alien gets too curious and maybe hungry and heads straight for the fridge for a snack. Instead of food, he accidentally grabs a beer and drinks it like a drunkard. While Elliott is at school, he burps as if he himself just drank a whole can of beer. Apparently, for some reason, Elliott and the alien are connected, and now Elliott is getting a bit tipsy too. Back in the house, the alien is having a blast, drunk, and watching TV, while poor Elliott has to dissect a frog at school. But soon, he loses his mind and embarks on a mission to save all the frogs from their grim scientific fate. The classroom is in total chaos.
I gotta let him go!
But since the alien is watching a romantic movie, Elliott decides to play the part of the charming guy and plants a Hollywood kiss on the prettiest girl in class. And yes, things are getting nuts, so they take him to the principal. At home, things are a mess. The alien is in the living room, but the mom is too busy to notice what's going on around her. Gertie starts watching a program to learn the alphabet, and the alien begins to speak too. The mom gets a call from school saying that Elliott is completely drunk and needs to come pick him up. Gertie continues with private lessons, teaching the alien to talk. They eventually name him E.T.
Oh, God! Elliott. What? I taught him how to talk. E.T., can you say that? E.T.
They also discover that E.T. is very smart. He starts building things and points to the sky, making noises like he wants to call home for help. Meanwhile, a van is parked very close to the kids' house, spying on their conversations. These are the same people who have been investigating the whole alien situation, but the kids are too busy searching for parts to help E.T. build a radar so he can call those idiots who went home without him. Michael notices that E.T. doesn't look so good. He seems sick or something.
Oh, Elliott, he doesn't look too good anymore.
Don't say that. We're fine.
Elliott tells him not to worry because they will be okay. Because remember, now E.T. and Elliott are one. At night, the boy keeps searching for parts to help E.T. build whatever he needs, but he has an accident and cuts his finger. He then discovers that the alien also has healing powers with the LED tip of his finger. Then, E.T. uses his power to levitate objects to build what looks like a phone. To help with the plan, the kids use Halloween night to dress him up as a ghost so he can blend in. But what the adorable little monster didn't expect was to be blinded by a camera flash. On the way, they run into another kid dressed as Yoda, and E.T. mistakes him for one of his own. And yeah, they do look a bit alike. But no, E.T., this one isn't from your family. Elliott and E.T. head into the forest, and here E.T. shows off just how powerful he is by making Elliott fly on his bike like Magneto. While they're soaring through the air, a really cool song plays in the background. The landing, though, isn't quite as impressive as the takeoff. Back at the house, the mom is totally panicked because the kids still aren't home and it's getting really dark. So, she jumps in the car and starts looking for them. With the house empty, those mysterious folks see their chance to sneak in and keep snooping around. Back in the forest, our heroes get their makeshift device going. It looks like a calculator with colorful wires and a saw blade. It seems to be working and sending out a signal, so everyone's excited. Back at the house, those mysterious people have broken in and are snooping around. And seriously, what's that Annabelle doll doing there? Things are getting pretty creepy. Some time has passed, but E.T.'s family still hasn't answered the message. Elliott tries to convince him to stay on Earth and promises to take care of him.
Could be happy here. I could take care of you. I wouldn't let anybody hurt you. We could grow up together, E.T.
But E.T. says he needs to go home because there's no social security for aliens on Earth. They've been out all night, and when Elliott wakes up, he can't find E.T. anywhere. He rushes back home and finds his mom worried sick. She even called the police. The problem is, Elliott is very sick, so he asks his brother to look for his friend. Mike speeds off on his bike, but soon realizes that a car is following him. He makes some sharp turns and maneuvers to shake the car off. Things are about to go south because Mike does find E.T., but he's all pale, dry, and sick. Things get even worse as E.T. is dying, and since he's connected to Elliott, Elliott is also in trouble. With no other options, Mike goes to get their mom for help, but instead of helping, she tries to take the kids and leave the house. But what she doesn't expect is that the US government shows up right at this moment, always needing to be involved, right? Since the aliens arrived, they've been searching everywhere, even eavesdropping on conversations in the woods. Now they're surrounding the house and quickly set up a mini research facility right in the neighborhood. They interrogate the kids, put E.T. on a stretcher next to Elliott, and start taking blood samples and trying to help. There's even a guy who talks directly to Elliott to figure out what E.T.'s goal is because he wants to help. It turns out Elliott can barely talk, and this guy has been investigating the situation for over 10 years, so he needs everyone's help to save both lives. Elliott explains that E.T. needs to go home, but the researcher says some strange, almost farewell-like words, and doesn't believe E.T. was left there without a reason. A few minutes later, they also discover that the plant E.T. was taking care of has died. E.T. is dead, with no pulse and as pale as a ghost. Elliott is screaming desperately. Despite their efforts, they can't bring him back to life. But Elliott seems to be recovering. E.T. gets put in a box to keep his body intact, while they get ready to move him. Everyone has to step back while Elliott says goodbye to his buddy. They open the box, and surprise, E.T. is still alive. Everyone's thrilled, but Elliott knows the government is going to try to take him, so he and his brother manage to sneak into the truck where E.T. is being held and steal it. They call their friends for help, and they all head into the forest together. They jump on their bikes and take off, with the police hot on their tail. This a wild chase scene. They're weaving and jumping, trying to stay ahead. They split into 3 groups to distract the cops, but suddenly, there are way too many patrol cars. Just when it seems like they're done for, E.T. uses his powers to lift the bikes into the air, and the kids start flying. The police are left in shock.
Tell me when it's over!
Everyone makes it to the forest, and just then, the spaceship appears. E.T. says goodbye to his friends, including Barrymore, who shows up with her mom at the last minute.
I just wanted to say goodbye. Be good.
Elliott hugs him while the mom, the cops, and everyone else are all in tears. Our hero takes his little plant, boards his spaceship, and the doors close. And just like that, Earth doesn't see the friendliest alien in movie history again. Sure, there have been more aliens like the Transformers, the ones from Arrival and Venom, but none like E.T. That's how the story ends. If you liked this recap, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and let me know in the comments which movie you'd like to see next. All set? See you in the next video.